Hey there, good looking. Join me for this back-friendly abdominal workout. No equipment is required unless you're on a hard surface, then you may want a mat. All right, let's go get started. Join my next fitness challenge for women over 40, the 21-day Strong and Sassy Challenge. Registration is now on. Challenge kicks off September 5th, 2023. All right, we're going to start in a plank position. Now, these are all back-friendly exercises. However, everybody is unique. So if any of the moves do irritate your back, please stop doing them, okay? Now, let's move into a forearm plank on the knees. So forearms, knees on the ground. Pull the tailbone or tuck the tailbone in a little bit and pull the belly button in towards our spine. Holding this really long, lengthened spine position. If you want to increase the intensity, extend and reach and tap the ground with the left and then the right. So by just balancing on the one arm or one forearm, we're going to fire up our core muscles a little harder. Now from here, you can increase it further by coming off of those knees, tucking the toes in. You want feet apart if you're with me on the toes. So we keep those hips pretty quiet. Breathe. Moving onto our back in about 10 seconds. One more each arm. On your back. Knees are over the hips. Ankles are lined up with the knees. Press the hands into the right knee. Draw the belly button in and anchor the spine. Now slowly extend that left leg. Heel to ground and bring it back. At the same time, you're trying to drive this right knee into the chest while you're stopping it with the hands. Now, our whole purpose of this, you're going to feel the core pretty darn quickly, but what we don't want that low back to do is pop off the mat or that belly to really puff up as the leg lowers. So if you're having a hard time controlling that, I want you to stay with a bent knee. So a really good trick with any ab exercise that requires the arms or the legs, the longer the lever, the harder it is. So here we've shortened the lever by bending the knees, and it's going to make that a tad more easier. Breathe. We've got the other side to do in 4, 3, 2, and other side. So again, readjust that low back, belly button drawn in, low back is anchored. It's not pressing into the low back or into the mat. We still have a little bit of a neutral curve. But what we're not allowing to do as that right heel now drops to our ground is for the low back to pop right off. Now we're trying to drive that left knee in towards the chest, resisting it with our hands and feeling those abs. Woo, baby. Don't worry, all these moves, we just do them once. So just do them the best you can and note that we're not coming back to this. Moving into a side plank, coming in less than 15 seconds. Slow and controlled. One more. All right, roll onto a side, doesn't matter which one. Elbow starts underneath the shoulder. Let's bend that bottom knee, straighten the top leg, and pick ourselves right up. Now from here, come out of that bottom shoulder. Let's lift this arm up, reaching up to the sky, holding this side plank, working the deep core, deep muscles into this oblique area here. Now, if you'd like to pick up the intensity, take that bottom leg, scissor it in front, and come on up. When the timer goes, we'll just roll over and do the other side. Keep breathing, just 10 more seconds. And lower, and let's go to the other side now. So remember our setup, elbow under shoulder, and that protects our shoulder joint. Let's have that bottom knee bent. Lift up, and we really want to lift up and then push the hips forward so the seat isn't shooting behind us. Reach the arm up, lengthen it. So we want top wrists, shoulder, shoulder, and bottom elbow all in one line. Good, and then we come out of that bottom shoulder. If we want a bit more, we take that bottom leg, scissor it in front, push the hips up a little higher if we can. Less than 30 seconds, you're doing great. A lot of focus in this workout on the deeper core muscles. Those will help us with our back, as well as protect our back when we're lifting dumbbells. We need these guys strong. They're doing the stabilizing while our legs and arms are moving around. And release. Come on to all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees apart underneath the hips. Let's find that neutral spine. Tuck your left toe under. Now extend your right leg and opposite arm at the same time. And bring them, tap the top of that knee, and do it again. Now when you reach this left arm up, rotate the thumb so it's pointed to the ceiling. Really extending from toes to fingers on this. Your right wrist stays plugged underneath that shoulder. Left knee underneath the hip. Bird dogging it on this side, and then we'll do the other side. Take it slow. You'll feel your balance being challenged as well. Working the deep core 2 here. Last 2. One more. Plug that left wrist right under the shoulder, right knee underneath the hip. Tuck the right toes under now. All right, extend, arm, opposite leg. Thumb is pointed up with that right arm. Tap the top of your thigh underneath the belly. Reach it. Good. Now, stay out of that left shoulder. Don't have it jammed up to the ear. Hold it for just a breath at that top part too. Also getting some mobility work into the hips and the shoulders with this exercise. Once you've seen me, I want that gaze of yours just past the top of your mat. Moving on to our backs in 2 more reps. Let's do one more. Reach it, fingers to toes, and release. On your backs, legs are up in tabletop. Remember what that was. Knees over hips, ankles lined up with the knees. Hands light behind the ears. Exhale and just curl up a little bit. Good. Now when we curl up, we don't want to have the hands behind the neck, behind the head, because that's just going to push our heads forward and put the neck in an uncomfortable position. You just want your fingertips sort of in the side, just behind the ears there, and then the head can drop into the fingertips from there. We want to ideally be able to place our fist underneath our chin through the whole entire exercise. So give it a try. Make a fist, place it under the chin, have it rest under the chin and on the chest. And once you've got that, take that hand back behind the head to give the neck some support by holding the head. And just exhale as we curl up. Having the legs up makes this ab crunch more back friendly. Release, bring the arms into T position. Keep the legs here, and I want you to keep the feet together and drop the legs halfway to your left side. Pause. Bring it back to center, now halfway to your right side. So we're stopping that full rotation. Don't have the knees too close to the chest. That's not going to help you out. You want those knees over the hips, that 90-90 position. 90 in the hips, 90 in the knees. Take it down halfway. Both arms stay on the mat. Pause, hold, pull it back to center. This is our last exercise too. Now, if your back is okay with this, you can try taking it down a little deeper, but we're not going all the way to the floor. I want you to hold and pause. Challenge those obliques by pausing and holding the knees in midair. And release. Woo! All right, let's just do one quick stretch and then you can continue on with your day. Come into Sphinx for me. Elbows under the shoulders, feet apart. Just let the tops of the feet rest on your ground. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Looking up ever so slightly and then letting that belly drop. So here we're getting some spinal extension as well as stretching in the abs. Now, if it's getting too pinchy into that low back area, you can do a couple of things. Tighten your bum, so squeeze your glutes, and that might help. That's still too much. Walk your hands forward so we're not doing so much of an extension in that low spine. Couple more breaths. While we hold this stretch, hey, if you're on YouTube, please, you can help this video out by clicking that thumbs up button so it gets found in the YouTube algorithm. And if you are doing this again on YouTube, make sure you drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And those of you that are enjoying this ads-free on Over 50 Fitness, head to our private community. I want to hear from you guys. All right, press yourself back. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to reading your comments down below. And if you want to work with me on a much deeper level and really hit your goals, I've got some info down below on my Patreon community as well as Over 50 Fitness. Bye.